Hi guys, today we are going to be canning up some deer meat. My family has just been blessed with tons of deer meat. It's from January, so it needs to get ready and be used. And so we're using some of it that's still in our freezer, and then I'm making jerky and I'm canning it up, which is what I'm doing today. I may actually start the marinade for some jerky too. But either way, I have a ton, and it's getting ready to be Thanksgiving, where all of the turkeys are going to go on sale and the hams are going to go on sale, and I always stock up on those and stick them in my freezer for later. I have no space. Like, I have literally stuffed my deep freeze as much as it can be stuffed. Like, nothing can fit in there. A popsicle cannot fit in there. So that is what we're doing today. We're going to fill up my All-American canner, stack those pints, and we're going to have some deer roast that's chopped up and ready to go in stews or beef tips or deer tips, however you want to do it. Either way, that's what this video is on. So I hope you guys stick along. Give it a thumbs up if you like canning. I know my family likes canning. I like canning. Subscribe if you want to see more. If you have suggestions for recipes to use with my deer meat, because I have deer steak and I have tons of different cuts of deer steak, and then I have deer roast, and I think there was some deer ribs in there too. So either way, if you have some recipes that you guys like, let me know down in the comments, and I'll post a video of me doing some of them, because some years we have deer and then some we don't. So I'm always up for new recipes. All right, guys, I'll see you when we start chopping up this meat. Alrighty, so this is what we are doing. All I'm doing is taking all my meat that I have, chopping it into, well, that's a smaller piece, 1-inch cubes. And then I'm going to put them in pint jars. We're going to put hot water over them. I'm going to put some salt in there, and we're going to let this can up. All I'm going to do now is, I like the par cook method versus the raw pack. I could raw pack it and literally just throw these raw pieces into a jar with some salt, no extra liquid, and throw it in the canner. I don't like the outcome. It isn't appealing to the eye when you look at it in the jar, and it's harder to clean the jar afterward because you get protein and stuff cooked onto the inside of the jar. Where if you par cook it, it retains its shape better, it looks good in the jar, and I like to sometimes add broth and stuff to make it even better whenever you open it up. So that is how I'm going to do it. So I have it in one of these baking pans, have my oven preheated to 375, and I'm just going to stick this in there when I'm done filling it up and let it par cook. I'll go in every 10 minutes or so and stir it up, and usually takes about 40 minutes, and then everything's par cooked. And when that is done, I will bring you back when we are loading up jars so you can see that process. Alright guys, so we are ready to can up this deer meat. This is my par cooked deer. I didn't have time to cut up all the packs that I have in the fridge. So this is what I was able to get done before my babies woke up. So I'm going to go ahead and get this in the canner, and then I'll start doing more this afternoon. But this is what we got for the time being, and you know what? I'm happy with it, because I know I'll have time to do more next time they take a nap. We have our hot sterilized jars, rings, our lids in hot water, and then I got to get it vinegar to wipe the rim of our jars. Let me go ahead and get that. Okay. Sorry guys, I usually have all this ready. I'm like racing against time because my babies are starting to stir again. So, they're probably hungry. I know I'm hungry after smelling this cook. Okay, so vinegar on our paper towel, and that is to wipe the rim of our jar. We also, in our canner, have between 2 and 3 inches of water that is heating up. You don't want it to heat up to more than 180 degrees because we don't want to start the canning process. We just want it to be warm, to keep our jars warm. And make sure that you always lubricate, especially because this is a metal-to-metal seal. I put Vaseline on mine either every time or every other time I can. I think you can do it like every 2 times, but I usually do it every time just so it stays good and lubricated. And don't mind my mess. I'm doing my cast iron later because that has some rust I found. So I'm going to be restoring those. That's why they're dirty and out. So we're going to let this, once all the jars are in here, we'll put the lid on. We will let it come up and start venting. Once it starts venting out of the vent hole in the top of the lid, we'll let that go for 10 minutes. Then after the 10 minutes, we will put our weight on, and then we'll wait for it to come up to pressure. And then I have a gauge, so once my gauge says 10 pounds of pressure, and then I, of course, have the 10-pound weight on, I will start my time. I will not start my time until it is at the 10 pounds of pressure. So once that is, I'm doing pints, so it'll be 75 minutes because we're doing meat. And we'll start the timer for 75 minutes, and when that's done, there's my babies. When that's done, then we can turn off the stove, but not touch it, and wait for it to come back down off of pressure, and then we'll be able to open the lid and get our jars out. So this is how I'm doing it. You just take your meat, stick it in your jar, and it's so much nicer this way because it keeps its shape, and I mean, it already just looks delicious. Get you a good look at the bottom of the jar. And we want 1 inch of headspace. That'll probably be, yeah, that's gonna be more than what I want. I have clean hands too. And then this time I'm just using water. So pour my hot water in to the rim. And I need my salt. Alright, got our salt in there. And then you want to debubble. You always want, sorry, I almost dropped it. You want to make sure that you debubble, otherwise it could make your jar fail. And get all the bubbles out. And then we'll recheck our headspace really fast, and we could use a touch more water. Okay, perfect. So there's that. Oh, my baby's so mad. Wipe and inspect your rim. Make sure there's no cracks or anything. Wipe it clean. Get you a lid. And ring. Fingertip tight. And then this is going to go in the canner and wait. And we'll get her canned up. I'll bring you back for the results. Alrighty, so this is the finished product of our deer. And I am super excited. And as you can see, all of that, oh, that was my baby. All of that water turned into broth while it was canning. And today, this is set overnight. Today I'm going to take the rings off and I'm going to wash my jars, label them, and put these away. And yeah, that little bit only made 4 pints, but I have so much more I need to do. I'll probably end up with about 10 to 15 pints of chunk deer meat. So I hope you guys like this video. Stick around because the next video I'll be posting is my deer jerky, and I am so excited about that recipe. Alright, thanks for watching.